Whew. All right. Let me just put what and cut. There we go. Aha! Just gonna get myself ready. Yes, well, I don't need this apron for this type of drawing. And because I have the light over me, and it's making me look like a awfully shady character, we'll put this away as well. Alright, turn my birds down. A bit. Turn the birds down a bit. Tuck my shirt in too. Tuck my shirt in. And let's get this chat going. And get my drink, and then we're gonna get going. Oh yes, the hat. Too shady. We don't want that. So, Mike's there, but I hope you can hear me fine. Tonight is the additional live stream. We'll just go up here for a second. Where I am going to do a copy of a Henry Yan from my personal collection. I'm going to do it on newsprint. His is on Strathmore. The reason why I'm not doing Strathmore is I'm not confident I'm going to be able to do a good job of it. I haven't really used his technique before. I took a class with Henry Yan and at Swinton's art store, and got to see sort of what it was about, but the class I took was more painting than drawing. But I love his work, and I have his book. There's no affiliation here, but I recommend getting it. It's absolutely just beautiful to look at. He's got lots of examples of his work, and you know, kind of a description of his methodology. I'm going to tilt the camera down and show you the tools I'm going to be using tonight, because they're a little bit just messy. So they're sitting on the chamois. Probably won't use the chamois. It does do a nice soft blend. Chamois, which I sell at the studio, they're like $7. I think they're just deer hide, really soft deer hide. This one's well loved. This is what they look like when they're a little bit newer. You know, various things to maybe smudge. I got stump, which is the more pressed fiber, and then a tortillon, which is just newsprint rolled up. Sometimes if you've got a good pencil, you can stuff it in there and get that point coming out. I don't know, makeup sponge maybe, a firm eraser, a kneadable eraser, some charcoal pencils to do kind of the final drawing and really getting the drawing just to tighten up with the harder edges. And then I've got nitrum charcoal and vine charcoal, and also some compressed charcoal. This is far more than I probably need, but if you look, the materials to make something beautiful, they're kind of junky. I just reached into a pile. You know, they don't have to be brand new, they don't have to be expensive, they just have to work. And so that's the tools we'll be using in the drawing. And I'll be standing today, which is very different for this channel. So you'll probably see my back a lot. But I'm going to just draw on the newsprint. Look at, there's that sign. It's getting really yellow. This is smooth newsprint, Strathmore brand. And when you go into the store, you need to look at this really, really tiny little word right here, smooth. If it doesn't say that, it's not smooth. And a lot of times the art supply stores, they're not, they're just getting newsprint, right? It's a cheap paper. They're not thinking about what the uses might be for. We want it smooth so we can really glide our material and not have to like rub it in. And we don't want that texture look. We want it to be nice and smooth. And also you want at least 20 sheets on there to give you some sort of padding. You see I got quite a lot of flex right there. And I'm gonna use some sight size techniques and talk about them as well, which is why I have this ruler. Now that's not normally how I would draw it, but I'm gonna back up and just make sure my head's in alignment. So I'll back up quite a bit, and you guys are being, it's filmed at an angle because otherwise you're just gonna see the back of my vest the entire time. So let me just get this going. So you'll be able to see what I'm copying from more closely to straight on. This one will be at a little bit of an angle, but hopefully that way I'm not blocking the drawing. And I'll move the camera a bit because I'm actually, rather than sitting on the donkey, I'm standing here and I can alter things as I go, which is great. So I've never done one of these standing. This should be an interesting live stream. They won't all be like this. You can't even see my head. It's kind of funny. But we did one yesterday with Jeff. I operated the camera for him, and that's why we didn't have a live stream yesterday. I did it on Tuesday instead. And this live stream is to make up for the fact that I won't be here next week. I will be out of town. So I want to make sure, there we go, that looks better. There's a little gray strip at the bottom. I want to make sure that you guys still get your weekly practice in. So if you're not watching it today, maybe it'll be homework. So you could copy anything that you want. It doesn't have to be Henry Yan. I'm going to get my timer going. Pontomoro timing. The other thing about having this mic right here is that although you guys can't see it, you should be able to hear the technique, which I find really pleasing, almost meditative. And also, hey, Harry Wong's here. Also, you know, the mic's right by my face, so you'll hear my voice a lot more. And a lot of people have been telling me that they like the talking. And man, I gotta tell you, I'm on day 20 of a 21-day cleanse. I could go to sleep right now. I am so tired. Feeling drained, but I'm gonna step it up, because I know when you start doing this, it's kind of like going to the gym. I used to hate going to my martial arts class. I'd be so tired, but by the end of it, you just feel better. Same thing showing up. Yeah, you could not do this. Yeah, you can just put on the Netflix. Sure, that's fine. I don't mind. It's your life, but I think that practicing your craft, it's worth it. So let's get this show on the road. Upon tomorrow timing, which is testing you guys. 25 minutes. 25 minutes, and then we'll take a break. There we go. 25 minutes. So I'll do a general in. This technique relies a lot more on massing. So the approach is going to be a little bit different. I'll start by using a bigger chunk and not drawing with the tip, but just finding some areas where there are, because there's tone everywhere except the highlights. It's not really going to hurt me just to put something down. And what's nice is vine charcoal is very, very light. So I basically want to find out where his shoulder is. Whoa, maybe this paper is not the right idea. But we'll see. I don't claim to know what I'm doing today. Maybe I'll just get that kind of general big shape of where the shoulder is first. There's a really nice gesture of this hand here. And I've got it sort of in an alignment. So if I kind of bring my hand across, that's about where the head is. The other way I usually do it with string is hold the string across. And you keep standing in the same place. You guys can't see me, I'm off camera. But as long as I keep standing in the same place, oh, that's actually perfect. Maybe a little bit higher up. You can make these marks. So maybe I'll find out where that foot is as well while I'm at it. It's like measure twice, cut once. Okay. And maybe the butt. Another way to do it would be to measure off the image. Now, this isn't 18 by 24 the same because it's got the matting, but basically I can measure this far off the side. And I could say, well, how far off the bottom or top? Or how far, if that's where my shoulder is it down? And then back up and take a look at it. It looks pretty good. Normally you would have them exactly beside each other, but we'll just get kind of a general placement here. I could even measure this. You know, his legs there. So it's a little different working from something that already exists. That's the other thing we'll talk about, is where these lost edges occur in this particular piece. Because there's lots of them, and that's really, I think, the high level of art, is getting your lost edges going. When I went to study in Holland, I was there to look at how Rembrandt did it, because he was the master. Maybe the head's here. Charcoal's lovely because it's not that committal. You can just drop it out. But there's going to be tone everywhere. Got the arm. Now, after I get things kind of laid out where I want them, that's when I'm going to start looking for the massing in shapes of light and dark. All right. Maybe the foot will be here. There's that dark triangle here between his legs. I mean, it looks rinky-dinky, but it's all I need to get going on this thing. Okay. So let's just start finding our dark shapes. I'm hoping that one of these charcoals does what I want it to do, which is stick to this paper. There we go. At the aces, I have a little shape, and it's a cast shadow, so I want to draw it with a harder edge. This type of drawing is fun too because you get kind of dirty. All right, let me change up my charcoal here. Let's try this one. I like to use the big wide side of it, you know, so it can go blockier. You know what? I think I'm having a major malfunction with this paper. Looks like Bunny's gonna have to upgrade here. What do I got? Yes, this newsprint's not gonna work for me. So I'm looking through my paper pile here. Pretty sure I got some Stonehenge. I don't know if I have any of that. It's white. Oh, I do. His is the cream one, but I only have a dark cream. So we'll go with white. I'm gonna see if half the paper will be big enough. You know what? It might do it. This paper is not 18 by 24. But we'll make it fit. So, you know, malfunctions happen. It's just been one of those days. So I'm going to rip this paper off camera here. So why don't I switch the camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'll just put this back here. All right. So there's the ground. I folded the paper once. I'm using a straight edge. You can put it over the edge, but I'm gonna tear using the straight edge, pushing the weight across as I go, and pulling at quite an acute angle. And it creates a really beautiful edge to the paper. So this paper is made out of cotton. And so it's got a lot more strength to hold up to the beating I'm going to give it. We'll see if this paper makes a difference for me. I've been up a ladder all day. Feeling pretty tired. And I don't think that loose braid's going to do what I want it to do. So we'll clip this above. Now it's going to be a really nice drawing. Nice drawings just happen on nice paper. I'm going to give it a little bit more padding as well. Uh-oh. Now, I normally don't draw on the first sheet of my pad because of reasons like this. If you skip to the second sheet, you'll see there's a drawing in there. And so you can flip the pad the other way and go onto the back like this. But basically, all you want to do is get some paper there to give you some flex. I saw that Cesar Santos, he uses carpet in his studio, but basically you can't, or you shouldn't just go right hard on that surface. Doesn't do nice things. Let's see if I can clean, wow, now there's a bench for me to sit on. Glorious. Not my plan because I'm gonna need to back up. All right. Let's get back to a fresh start and see if this will work. So working on Stonehenge now. That newsprint and those charcoal stuff. And it might be because I was really close to the end of the pad too. Let's see how this works now. Oh, so much better. A little bit more textured though. So we'll just go back in and block in the major shapes just to give us an indication of where we're going. And I'm just going to use the vine charcoal for that. And take a couple measurements. It's pretty close. Yeah, good enough. We do want to learn how to shift it around. I wonder though if my foot is going to be too short. That might be a problem. It's going to go right to the bottom. C'est la vie. I could draw at slightly smaller scale. Just give a quick block in of where things go, because we're going to mass in light and dark shapes. This drawing too, I'm willing to bet Henry Yan did this in like 20 minutes. I'd be lucky if I can get it done in 3 hours. We'll see though. His technique, the thing is he puts everything in the right place just like automatically. Like he's doing this from a model. Okay. The other thing that we should do is get a piece of paper towel to wipe with. Costco brand. I'm not using the blue paper towels because I want it to give a gritty look, kind of a sandpapery drag rather than super duper smooth. And you want to fold it corner to corner and get a square. This will be our origami lesson. Now, I'm just going to fold this side in, but you could tear that just like I tore the paper. All right, here's the trick Henry Ann taught. Wait, up to my chest. Over, over, over. You can go one more if you want. And there's your smudge tool. Okay, back to it. So I'm gonna squint my eyes and I'm going to look for the darks. So let's start at his chin, below his ear, his jaw, goes up the collarbone. Kind of just feeling around where it might go. Another one is below the armpit. Following that line of the arm. Back to that shadow on the leg, which has a hard edge. So I'll draw it a little bit. Cast shadows explain the form they're falling on, not necessarily the form that's causing the shadow. And that's why it's good to have that hard edge, because it does translate well in your drawing. The viewer gets what's going on. So the hard edges he probably fortified by going back in with the general's pencil. This triangle, it connects to it. The seat. Right? We can put a lot more material on there after, but we got to get something on this white paper. You can see some striations in Henry Yann's piece, and that comes from the doubling up overlap of the charcoal. You can see some scratchiness too. He used his fingers up here. I don't know how accurate I'm going to try to make this thing. If it's going to be that kind of copy, or if it's just like inspired by a copy. I don't know. Neck. It's just a puzzle. Side of his cheek. His eye socket. Okay. Put his patella in there. We'll get our little tool now. Soften everything up. Get some tone on there. But you see, it kind of leaves these little scratchy lines. Okay, so here's another dark, the patella. Oh, this tiny one's pretty nice. This tiny little charcoal is doing wonders right now. I haven't backed up yet because I'm really just trying to get something down in which to react to. So when I take the break, I'll really sit back and have a look at what is going on. And everything that I put dark right now, when you're dealing with these charcoal, they actually wind up being pretty light by the end of it after giving it a little beat here. All right, let's get some more tone in here. Divine charcoal. The backgrounds might be the funnest part here. Mine's a little bit too messy. Luckily, when we do the compressed charcoal on top, anything that I've erased now can come back. So got some value on there now. Okay. Little too protruding here, but I can bring that in. The reason I bought this piece was not to copy it, but to learn about how he handles the light. I would love to be able to draw this good. Maybe this is step 1. Or 15, wherever I am now in my drawing experience. It was great watching Henry work as well because it was immediate gratification. So just do the deltoid here. And one of the things he says is you put the dark in. You just take this puppy and you drag it towards the light, and it gives you roundness of that form. Because there's lots of, with charcoal, there's lots of excess material on there. Then, one of the later things, so we've got that turning, you just can go in and erase your highlights. I'm going to use my finger as it's a little bit softer tool as well. Tricep there. Bicep. So squinting down, and slowly but surely we'll start to have some forms appear. Just a puzzle. Some people like to do puzzles. This is the kind of puzzle I like. If I could afford it, I'd buy another Henry Ann and copy it too. Not quite the right shape there. You can start to see the face coming along though. All right, that's our first break. I'm gonna take it to assess, but I'm gonna also move the camera for you guys to where I am standing. That'll give you a better idea of the site size. You can see that that bottom foot might not fit in, but already I've got the roundness of that muscle and the chest. So we're gonna dance around and squint a lot, but already you can see where the placement's gonna be, you know? That wasn't unfortunately the full 25 minutes, but we'll get there. So let me just leave this on the screen. I need to take 5. I'm gonna sit down and stare at it for a minute. I don't have to go out and pee 1,000 times. I went before we started. I might not even be Stone Edge. Oh, look. Must be. Arches and stuff, when you hold them up to the light, you can see the name mark on the paper. 2 minutes. YouTube took down my last video, so if you're on here, enjoy it while it's live, because who knows? I mean, there's no genitalia or anything in this, but a Michelangelo drawing on an art channel that has done, what, 20 to 30 live streams already? I appealed, but who knows? It may be gone forever. Minute and a bit left. Get your materials out. We'll get that camera back to where you aren't only seeing my back. Hopefully that looks good for you guys. I wonder if I could go a little more this way this time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It might be a lot of back shot, but it's the first time we've done this. Okay, 25 minutes. So I'm really not worried about body parts or anything, or drawing. I'm just right now I'm just after knocking out some forms, squinting my eyes and seeing kind of what develops. You have to have skills, obviously, but you also, when you have skills, you also got to learn how to be free. So doing master drawings can be a great way, because you don't have to think about the whole composition. I'm not making any decisions, really. I'm learning how this artist decided things, you know? And with the charcoal, other than that, you know, you get these lovely smooth areas. You can get more subtle nuances as well. And that's what we're going to want out of this thing. We'll just put a little more there. I love how this arm just catches that light though, and then there's that lost edge down here. Somewhere around there. Let's find the side of the hip here. There's a line here. Goes across. That's about where the butt, or the, actually that's, I believe that's the trochanter shadow. But I'm just finding the darkest darks. And this isn't how dark they're going to be, because they're going to get obliterated as I go. And not only are they going to be obliterated, I will go over top of darks again. I go from dark to light in this process. Let's find the other side of the leg. Not sure my angle's quite right, but just still kind of mapping out what I can. I like the bird sounds. I don't know what birds they are. The study of ornithology is not the bird songs or what they look like. It's their biology. Use our little tool here. Help create the form. The leg, pull the direction of the leg and pull it around. You see what mileage you get with that? It already looks tubular. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more material there, but at least we have that impression of flesh starting out. And I'm picking the big shapes right now. You know, the leg. Down here, it's pretty much a lost edge. So he would have just done something like that. Those are the sweet spots. So the color of the model's skin might not be the same as the drapery or background, but when you squint your eyes, if the value's the same, you just blend them together in a charcoal drawing. So I might have to shorten my leg. Might make it. We gotta cheat sometimes. Make it fit the smaller paper. Hopefully it will fit. Pull towards where the light is. The light's actually right here, but I want to describe the form that way. So that's a shadowy part. Use up your chunks of charcoal, little junky stuff. Man, I would love to see Henry Ann draw this drawing, see if I'm even close to his thought process when he's drawing. Although you guys can watch these videos, there really is no better way to learn than in person, where you can have someone who's trained their eye and train their technique and can see the things that you can't see the problems. You know, books are all fine and dandy for sure. But if you keep making the same mistake and you have no way to see it differently, or no way, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And we definitely, like the Jungian shadow, we don't see our own faults. They stand out strong, very strong in others, but you know, we choose to not see them in ourselves and our work. And, you know, like any parent with their child, and some dog parents, that their child, their dog can do no wrong. And then you watch Cesar Millan episodes and you realize this has nothing to do with the dog. This is a human problem. Okay. I don't want to stay there too long, because I want to keep going on the shapes, getting them knocked in. You know, value is the most important thing, I think. Like, I'm trying to get the shapes right. In the hierarchy, I would put shape as number one. Number one most important thing to get right. Get your angles, get your proportions. Shape is also where perspective lives. Something going away, it happens at a diagonal. But value. If you're out in the woods, this was explained to me by Mr. Doug Swinton, how he likes to objectify value. If you're in the woods and you're taking a shit, maybe it's like if you're taking a shit in the woods, and you see a big dark shadow looming over behind you, you got to get up and run. Fight or flight. Because that, my friends, is a bear. But if you see a little white fluffy thing hopping away, you pull up your pants and you chase after that, because that's lunch. So survival, fight or flight, is why we need to see contrast, so we know if we're in danger. And you know, the first organism that had an eye was like a fish type creature, and it just had the ability to sense whether there was light or dark overhead. That's the first eye, like some sort of light sensor. Okay, well, that light or dark is actually how dogs see too. Dogs don't see in color, but they can see light and dark. And they can navigate fairly well. I mean, if you own a black lab, you'll know they run into things. They're not the smartest breed out there. But it's value that allows us to have three-dimensionality. Not just the binocular vision, but the light or dark. Same goes for here. We want to get those shapes of light and dark. The hole where the arm comes down, I can draw this whole shape. Even though there's a lighter spot there, it's okay, because I can pull material out. It's like barely there. I can do reflected light that way, and then fortify it by going darker beside. And that's how you make something appear darker. Or sorry, the reflected light there. You just have to put a dark beside it. So I'm gonna just guess this arm, guesstimate. There's some dark there. You know, maybe I'm only really looking for like 5 values. Can put some value on this leg. Pull it up. Put some value on this calf. And the epicondyle here. There we go. Oh, went a little far on that one. We're not going to exactly match the outside. But close to. There's 2 fingers, forearm. Shadow on the arm. Pull it across the forearm. Do the neck. Trap. There's a darker shadow in there. So we're moving at an okay clip now. I am kind of avoiding the head. What's nice is it's in shadow. That's a little bit more helpful. All right. So I'm going to get more of the head in, because after that I'm going to go actually with a darker charcoal, a charcoal that sits on top a little bit more. And I'm going to put the camera back around a little bit, because I noticed there's a lot of arm action. Hopefully this is zoomed in enough for you guys. Shoulder, arm kind of disappears there. ear there. I think that might just... Ear might have to be a little bit bigger. The orbital, some hair. Whew, my guy is a lot thicker. Might just be that I'm shifting him over. It's okay. We will just keep it going. Okay, I'm gonna finish up 2 minutes time here, so not finish it in totality, but finish just a little bit more of the drawing phase, number 1. And we're gonna switch to the compressed charcoal and get some more material on here. Get some more. funny how there's like, you know, there's times when you misjudge it, or you know, you really aren't sure until something else occurs elsewhere on the canvas. So when you're drawing from life, the same thing happens. It's a lot of questions, very few answers. Not intellectual ones at any rate. Okay, take 5, and I'll straighten out this camera for y'all again. My guy's head is definitely like going up way too high. That or the ear's too low. We'll go with too high. Okay, 5-minute break. 20 seconds. Whoop, there it is. Okay. There are things. It's not perfect yet. So, let's get to the next stage. I mean, it's a reasonable facsimile right now. If you squint your eyes or it's a little blurry, I think you'll agree. But when we start getting to the details, I'm hoping, you know, to learn a bit more. We'll leave it there. I'm mostly going to block that side anyways, so I apologize. I'm going to change materials though. Maybe I'll try this. More compressed charcoal. So we got to get the darks in. This is actually hard for me at this angle because I got to look here, but let's just get a little bit more material on here. And then we will start some of the removal process, or the blurring, the blending. See how this stuff goes. You know, you don't have to draw perfect. I like to think that drawing is a lot like cutting away wood, but actually in this one, we're drawing more like a painter. And so if I don't like where this is, I can just move it over. So it's almost like charcoal is a little bit more like paint, a little bit more like plasticine or clay, being able to move it around a little more. Well, this paper is not as smooth as his. I don't think. Unless I really rub it. Okay. Let's take this head down a little bit. It's looking too pointy. Okay. I'm going to just put on a little bit more. This is the vine charcoal again, just pulling across the form. Oop. Break a little piece off. So I'm putting in a little bit more drawn elements now. Sure rubs off easy if you need it to. Draw a little bit with the eraser. And I guess in a sense that this is this is better than copying a master from a book. I'm looking at the actual thing. I can see his textures a little bit more. If only I could just afford Michelangelo. Nice. Soften up that edge. Whew, look at all those little finger marks. We don't like those. Beauty. Ooh, doggy. Okay, let's get some more value again on here. So back and forth, or push and pull. These shadow shapes of the back foot and the shin and the patella are combined. Unified shadow shape. So what? So this is like the 5th time I've drawn this part. It's nice that it kind of disappears, because if you don't like it, you can get rid of it. Okay. I'm not even sure if I'm doing his technique correct, but I'm just trying to emulate the look. At this point. some of these bits are definitely drawn with the smaller charcoal. On top. So this back is a good place. Actually, maybe we'll use this spongy thing to pull the material across the form. The lats too. Pull it into that form. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your comments. Sorry, I haven't been looking up. I'm actually like really intent on just looking at all the little things. The other thing that's nice about studying from a piece is that you get another appreciation for it. I mean, this has been in my house for years, but I've never looked at it this close with this much focus. I just liked it as a whole. As I said in the last live stream, I do prefer drawing men's bodies over women because you can't get away with, you know, just drawing an hourglass shape. You have to know what you're doing. You can't cheat it as much. Otherwise they look like weird muscles and things that are going on. Okay. That got a little dark there from the oils of my finger. Okay. Probably just overworking this thing now. Control the edges a little bit more. There's those little lines from the paper towel. Lost edge under the kneecap. Whoa. Okay, forgot the timer. Time is at 7:30. But I think it would have gone by now. Because it's almost 7:30. It's coming along. All right, let's take this all in right now. Mine's a little darker. Shoulder on mine could go back a little bit more as well. Hey, wow, look, you know what? We're halfway. Let's just do a little halfway critique. I got some tape right here. All right. So, I don't know. Does that look about right? Yeah. This is always fun to check yourself. It's too bad it's not like... Oh yeah, see my foot is higher up. I had to make mine a little bit shorter. But let's just check a few things, like where's the shoulder? Whoa! I don't know if this is the right way to do this, but you know, check yourself. fairly good. My arm needs to slant a little bit more. But the shoulder and all that's kind of in the right place. If I went by the top of the head, let's see about the hand. Nowhere near where it should be. The knee should be way out there. Mind you, if I slide it over slightly, let's just do that. It's like, check your drawing like animation, right? Yeah, so the foot would have to be down here, so I'm shrinking it. Now it lines up, all right, and the butt lines up. The only thing that doesn't line up is that bloody foot. I'm actually really happy with halfway the placements. Didn't think I would be. This is an odd way to work for me. This thing is not like, it's not level. I would want it over there so I could look towards it, but I figured this is better for the video. Whoa! Sorry, that's my stick. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. This is definitely not going to be a 3-hour drawing, I don't think. Should we bring that? Oh no, that leg was fine now. Oh, this thing's fun. Keith got me into these things. From some pastel set. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's go 25 more minutes. I'm gonna move the camera over again because you guys don't want to stare at my vest, I'm sure. Yes, these are ice creams on my shirt. Thanks for asking. It's my happy shirt. Okay, so I guess we'll just keep this shot. It is what it is. How to get that look that Henry Yan does? I think mine looks clunky. Much clunkier than his. He's just so good at these soft edges. And when he came back to teach at Swinton's, the last time I took it was a painting class, he had another drawing of this model. I can't give you a biography on Henry Yan, but I think he's a teacher at like San Francisco Art Academy or Art College or whatever they call it. And so those guys are real lucky to have him, number one. But this is he had the same model. And he had drawn the same kind of pose again. Maybe they're from photo, I don't know. But that one was even better. And then I wanted it, but I don't have an extra $400. You guys got to start buying my art here. I still feel like, well, I guess artists are always in the learning process. And we're never like, oh, I'm where I want to be. Okay, yeah, by the way, I'm using a pencil charcoal now to get some more lines. It's sharpened the normal way, kind of. Not actually that sharpened. Because everything got a little too smooth. So I need some definition here and there. Like on this arm. This book that I have of Henry Yans, you can buy at Swinton's or on his website. I wonder if he's doing live streams right now. Oh, must have a necklace here. Must be what that's referring to. Little bone. Okay. Lift that, whoa, hit start. Lift that out a little bit. There we go. All right, call that bit pretty much done for now. It's a little bit of a triangle shape in here. Okay. Overworking it. Not the stage to be doing that. It's too early in the game. Okay. Moving on down. Got the neck. A fold under the arm. The pectoral. The other shoulder, we'll just draw that a little bit. Okay. We draw a little bit of the forearm. Top of the hand. The knee. Since I'm focusing now on this area, I'm just gonna bring the camera in a little bit so you guys can have a little bit better view than just the back of my hand. Let's see what that does. Okay, so I'm going to, I got this line in here, so I'm gonna establish the deltoid a little bit. A little bit more, I should say. Goes back. Let's get that kneadable eraser out. Put in that highlight down the center of the form. And also on the tricep here. We'll add some darks in. So this reflected light, it's not that light. Hey, Jeff's here. It's coming, guys. Mine's a little more, it's less soft right now. Chasing the shapes. But I'm learning. I'm learning how this goes now. Hopefully, I can translate this into my own work. What I'm learning here. He's got just the way he draws is just such beautiful, precise little shapes. There we go. We'll add a little bit of the dry, unrubbed charcoal back in. Look, he doesn't even have to clean his up. Jeez. All right, we'll keep tightening it up by refining the shapes. Refine the shapes. I know I'm doing a lot less talking this time, but hopefully you guys are still here and entertained. Or just have it on in the background like I'm there at your house with you. Maybe at the break we'll have a sandwich together. I love me a sandwich. I bought, I'm on this cleanse, and then I usually do the keto diet in the new year for a little while to get my microbiome back a little bit. I bought a little cookbook that is keto cocktails. I didn't think you could drink alcohol on keto, at least I didn't last year. So I'm a little bit excited to have something to look forward to when I go home. Wind down with a little adult libation. Yeah, I'm getting too dark here. This is a problem. There we go. We'll just roll it over. That wouldn't be the first time. Okay. So just using the kneadable eraser to lift tone out now. It lifts the the compressed charcoal less. Compressed charcoal really knows how to get in there better than the vine or willow charcoal. Okay, moving on down. Can't get too caught up. It's a very ethereal right now. I'm definitely gonna stare at this a lot more now, having drawn it imperfectly. I might want to do it again. That's part of the path to mastery. Repetition. A lot of artists, they just want to jump in and do the fun stuff right away. They don't work the craft, you know, or they don't finish or complete things. It's tough. You know, being a professional is not easy. If it was, everybody would do it. I'd be out of work. Persistence is the key, though. You just keep at it. Yeah, this angle's not the best, guys. Let me move this over further. You know, it's mostly my hand. And I can't put the camera on the other side. I don't think I have enough cable length. Let's try it. So I'm here for you too. I want you to have a good experience in view. Let's see. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. This might work. Looks pretty good. Follow the form. That's the side of the knee there, the epicondyle. Very special tool. Pull it. Pull it. It's a little bit of a highlight there. And he must rub his finger along the edges because though they're dark, they're soft. Honestly, this angle is better for me. I'm not in your way either. We'll know that for next time. If I do it standing again. I tend to sit when I draw so that I can do it for a longer period of time. And I tend to stand when I paint. When I went to ACAD, the little bit of figure drawing that we did do was standing. This could be too because of the rooms, how they were laid out, and the furniture. But here you can choose. I find it's nice to sit with a live model because then your view doesn't change. Your butt stays in one place on the drawing horse. This is flank. 10 more minutes. Just lighten that up a little bit. She's a coming. Cast shadow on the leg is curling, describing the curvature of the leg. Every opportunity you have with these cast shadows, I would over accentuate it. It's one of your opportunities to intensify what you see. Bring these values closer together. All right, keep moving down, keep moving down. Two minutes left in this wee little session. The lost edge here. The tibia tuberosity. And our version of the shorter leg. Our shorter leg version to make it fit. Kind of the side plane of the knee is emphasized. Across it a little as well. And a wee little highlight. All right, all right. Okay. It's 8. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. 1 or 2 more sessions, and then that's it for us. She's coming along. We are live. Let's hope that YouTube doesn't drop this sucker off. I want to keep touching it. I got 3 minutes. I'm going to go more straight on with the camera. I'm going to quickly see a man about a horse. If you're still with me, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can fast forward. The parts you like. We're moving down the leg right now, but making a fairly close representation after the original. Maybe we'll do lake sounds next time. 30 seconds left on this break. My highlights are a little bit lighter. Oh, it's also the creaminess of his paper. We're not going to be able to match that. But we're getting close. Can I start now? Wait, I'm the boss of this show. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the other side since it seems to look better for you guys. I'm a one-man show here. Moving cameras. Ooh. What about right there? I might back up and run into this. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, and you can see the delay and all the digital technology in the background. Oh yeah, this cable's gonna get in my way. Well, the camera loses you, I'm sorry. There's a cable right behind me. I'll try not to step on it. Subtle, subtle stuff. Not my strong point, subtlety in drawing, more specifically. I washed my hands as well while I was away. It helps. I think when we took the class, we drew first with, I mean, I have the notes. I think I showed them last class. We drew first with the willow, and then we went over it and smudged it, softened it, and then at the very end, you go back over top of your work. But it sounds like, oh yeah, it's going over top, but actually, it's quite efficient. Because at first you're kind of guessing what you're doing. You know, you're studying, you're seeing it for the first time potentially. Losing a little bit of this, or what's it? Tortillio, or this work. I don't like to use blending stumps for named purpose blending. I don't find that they're very good at that job. But they are good at removing material. Blending tends to make your work look flat too, if you're not careful. So that's why I'm going to start intensifying some of these edges, not just the difference between values, but the edge quality, sharp. What we call a hard edge. The high level stuff. Down the leg we go. The tendon here. The condyle. Tibia tuberosity, so like bulgy bit in front of your knee. It's got two folds. Back foot. Just an indication of it, the toe. Don't want to do too much work there. It's far away and it's not as important. So let's not bring a lot of attention to it. Kind of a lost edge in there as well. He may have been even describing some of the shapes in the background with what he was doing. Don't know, I wasn't there. No year on this art either. Okay, we're on to the lower leg bit, so I'll tilt down the camera and let you guys get in a little closer. Hopefully you're not getting bored with the view here. I think that was about 10 minutes, so we'll do 12 here. We might get this done after all. It's good to look at a lot of stuff, how it's treated. We don't have to learn our own style. It comes out anyhow, you know? That's why copying pieces too can be really challenging, because it's a little bit unorthodox maybe for the way your hand works, or the order you want to do stuff in, or the way the marks are made. Oh, our good friend Keith has joined in. Fantastic. Doing a copy of a copy. My guy's legs are short, and I think I mentioned in past episodes how this is a, well, it had to fit the paper, but this is a bad habit that I always find I'm doing. So even in the copy it's happening. How do I break this habit? It's good that I know about it. But I gotta do something about it too. Can't just rest on our laurels. We'll never improve that way. Oh good, my head's not in the way. Toe. So this foot's getting a little bit of light. Let's clean that up. It's hitting a little bit of light. That goes down. Nice big shadow under the olecranon, the ankle. I need the willow here, just to add a lot more soft material. Because there's not enough on here to match the darks that I need. So 7 minutes left here on this clock. Going to pull this camera out a little bit again. Whoa. Maybe we'll do a double show here. So it's only nitpicky stuff at this point. Just little things here and there. Lightening and darkening. I'd like to think I could do better, but I'm not gonna work this into the ground here. Definitely my leg got a little too small. Maybe there's a way to make it higher. So refortify some of the core shadows. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I remember I had to ask Henry to sign this. It wasn't actually signed when I got it. Let's be darker. And having drawn it now, I think I might enjoy it a little bit more. Okay, guys, girls, everybody, whoever's out there. Gonna put these a little more beside each other. Sorry, microphone. We'll talk. Wowie. Well, what a night it's been. Where's the best place for me to be? Probably off to the side. I should probably stand closer to mine. Well, there we have it. Maybe 2 hours of work with all those breaks. Fairly close representation. I see all these little things now that I'm standing back. But I think I got a sense of how he works and maybe how I can apply it to mine. It's going to take many more of these. Once again, Henry Yan, and you can get his book. No affiliation, no marketing here. I just share something that I'm passionate about. Standing worked pretty good. I hope you guys who are watching this after the live stream, if it's not taken away, leave comments. Share these videos. Help me grow this channel. While we're in the lockdown, we're doing these all the time. So even if it's just something to listen to while you're creating your own work, you know, it helps build the community. And I'm doing this in part because ACAD, AU Arts, has asked me to teach how to do master copies. So I'm trying to do a whole wide variety. Plus, it's not really worth just hiring the model by myself unless it's for photography, and I'd much rather work from life. So I did a copy, but Henry Yan, who made the original, remember, he's working from life, and I doubt it's from photo. And you know, picking out the big shapes, getting your light, your cast light, finding those lost areas where there's no line, even though you know something's there. All of these things put together makes for a beautiful piece, and even though I'm doing a copy, hopefully some of this will blend into my work in the future when we can open up the live drawing here again at the studio. That was wordy. I'm really tired. I think that's all I'm going to say for now. Please comment, like, share, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What other YouTube stuff is there? I think that's it. Thanks for joining me again. I'll post this on Instagram if you want to see what it looks like. Just it, and not all this distance, and whatever the live stream does to the video. I'm gonna go home, have a hot shower, take a rest. Tomorrow's the last day of my cleanse. 21 days without solid food. So I feel like my brain's a little space cadet. I think I'm gonna look forward to some bone broth and building back up my gut biome. But I'm not a doctor, I'm not telling you to do anything. So I think I'm just gonna say ta-ta for now, and thank you guys for joining me. And here comes the bunny fade out.